It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
All right, everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be discussing another forum from the DVD forums, titled "With so many survivors leaving the game, what would bring you back?" So I wanted to talk about it because I think this would be really funny to just kind of listen in on, honestly, because like, it's kind of surprising to me that there are survivors leaving the game when there are so many updates that have benefited their gameplay and made it even easier to play Survivor over and over and over again. So me personally, I just don't really understand, like, you know, what the issues are, and I've been trying to look in and see what it may be, but it doesn't really, like, they're not really giving a good explanation. So that's why we're still here taking a look at this. So they said, I've played for 8 years on and off with my friends. We now don't play anymore due to the game's state. What would bring you back? Which I'm not sure what state of the game they're referring to. Like, every update has been survivor sided, so I'm a little bit confused. So this person says, I think more killers are leaving the game than survivors. It's become so extremely unfun to play as killer. I agree. I think there's a vast majority of killer players that have actively just stopped playing. Like, I think that it's just kind of like crazy. And then this person says, safe to say it's unenjoyable for both sides. Yeah, that's probably true too. And of course we get the classic Survivor, like, you know, response with, why is killer's queue so long then? Like, okay. Like, people forget that, like, queue time is just unaffected usually by a lot of factors, are affected by a lot of factors, like time of, like, the time of the day of the week. And let's also keep in mind that even the bonus, the BP bonus, is just random. Like, I've gotten multiple different bonuses across the different times of the day. So this is not a good argument. This is just a non-point that they love to spout every single time. This person says, honestly, at this point, I think the only thing that could bring me back is a different company acquiring the game. I agree with that, because this company sucks. Or at least major overhaul and replacement of most of the balance and mechanics, design team, or several consistent years of putting out updates. The community seems high quality and unobjectionable. I agree with that. A lot of talented people involved in the art and social media side of things, but if I spent 3 months coming up with a plan to address one of the key complaints about a product, delayed shipping new features for that product in order to work for that on that plan, and seemingly scrap that plan, I would likely be expected to hand in my resignation. My boss gets on my case when our new proposed features are not available within a week. That's not to mention the ping pong between map balances, what apparently insanely survivor sided a patch ago, and apparently insanely killer sided now for absolutely no reason, and in spite of feedback of what kind of changes would actually be fair. Now the thing is, right, like, I constantly keep saying about the pallet density update, which was a massive killer nerf. They didn't even need to add that in. Like, all they had to do was just, like, because they claimed that there were maps that needed more pallets, why not just specifically go from, like, those, say, 3 maps that needed more pallets and updated those? Like, why did they go ahead and update Ormond and update this map and that map? And I'm like, they never needed them. The farm maps I knew needed pallets. That's, I can say without a doubt. The Haddonfield, maybe you could have adjusted a couple of locations of pallets. That's fine. Why did we end up having, like, Ormond and Auto Haven? Like, those maps had plenty of pallets. Like, why did we need more? I don't know, but apparently they did. So they said it's at a point where it's not even about the specific problems that exist anymore. The actual complaint is that my trust in behavior has been significantly damaged. Even if today they actually implemented a fix of the problems that they said they would, the fact that they delayed a bunch of content for nothing makes me worry they'll delay a bunch of new content for nothing again. Which is very true. We've seen that time and time again. Love the core concept of the game. No longer in good conscience supported a dev that is this prone to making mistakes that hurt the experience of playing. Very true. This person says this, which is this is a good one. The game is stale. I'm not constantly wasting 10 to 20 minutes to find a match that lasts even less time than that. Same killers over and over, same perks, survivors entitlement, no new ways to play the game. I'm playing something else. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. You know, I've said this before in previous videos, like, it's constantly the same cycle of gens are too fast, so then they bring S tier. But then they're only seeing S tiers because the gens are too fast, so then they keep gen rushing even faster. So then they lead to more S tier use, which leads to more gen rushing, which leads to more S tier use, which leads to more gen rushing. And it's like, of course, you know. Revert the damn palette changes. Thankfully, it'll come next week, which, as we know, has completely blown up. It says you can stop removing things that are fun. Really? No, syringes and septics are not fun. I don't know why like the survivor survivor rhetoric is always ridiculous. That I find stupid. Like nobody in their right mind finds syringes and septics fun unless they actively want to break the game and they only want to use broken shit. Like that's already been proven. Like it's crazy, bro. But then they want to say, oh, it's ridiculous that killers get to keep things like Blight and Nurse. Notice how the list is only Blight Nurse. There's 2 killers out of 45, 47 killers. Doesn't make you killer sided, but apparently they can't use their brain long enough to realize that. But for a few one-time items are apparently to... You see how they minimize the strength of broken ass add-ons? But a few one-time use items. I'm like, syringes can literally be activated mid-chase and heal in under 16 seconds. 14 seconds or less if they decide to bring healing perks. So what are we talking about? You can pre-drop 10 pallets, 5 pallets, and just get full healed instantly and lose... The killer loses all pressure in a single second, but oh, that's solely just for fun. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, but this is what I'm saying right here. This person right here is why I say that if the fog vial needed to be broken for it to be fun and usable, then they should have never been in the game in the first place. It should have never been in the game then, because why does the item need to be broken for you to use it? Doesn't that tell you something about how unbalanced the game is? That you literally need the item to be ridiculous. But, okay. I'm just saying. Why does an item need to be as broken as toolboxes and medkits? Because keep in mind, as I've said in a previous video, medkits have the capability of healing yourself and your teammates, and can also heal instantly, and also has the capability of having a free health state, and you also have the capability of removing an objective from the killer, right? Because you need the hook in order to get the kill, right? And if they remove that from the equation, therefore extending the match even further when somebody could have taken a hook state, and also be able to progress their objective faster, all in the same 2 items. These things, like these items are crazy. Like why do you think that no one else uses like keys and maps? Because med kits and toolboxes are crazy. Like what are we talking about? Anyway, Blight's old alchemist ring and insta down, nurse's range and recharge atoms are fun too. I don't get the fun in pressing 2 buttons, but oh well. No, based. I agree with that. If we're talking about anything, regardless of how busted it was, I probably removed the last couple of nerfs to Dead Hard. No, the nerfs were justified, and I'm glad that they're in the game. So no, they should not do that. No Dead Hard for distance, but I'd get rid of the hook requirement. No. But it feels like the last nerfs it received ushered in the current gen meta, where survivors try to avoid engaging with the killer and just focus on gens instead. No, because even back then, Dead Hard was still ridiculous. Even back then, it was still stupid. Like it's still stupid. Even back then, like no. Back when Dead Hard was an exhaustion perk, no, it was still shit. Like I wouldn't. No, it's fine where it's at. We don't need to change that. So this person says, I played both sides, definitely stopped playing as much as before. The only thing I would make me come back is a Terrifier chapter, adding art to clown. Yo, me too, honestly. Oh, this person says company change, behavior does an awful job, I don't have faith in them, simple as they can make it, stop extreme nerfing one side or the other, stop listening to content creators so much. Honestly, I don't even know if that's even a point to make, because I've never heard any point that a content creator has made that made it into the game. So that you could just erase that. That doesn't make any sense. Play your own game. I genuinely believe they do not, which they don't. Monetization is all they seem to care about. Popular release, get money. Release broken new killer, get money. Throw out cosmetics, get money. PTP is pointless. That's kind of true. No innovation in 9+ years. That's very true. Actions over words. I agree with that. I feel like they're running different games for each region. Killer on Canadian makes wait 5 minutes. Playing killer Asian server means finding a lobby in 5 seconds, but you're aggressive survivors. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much nuance that you can't sit here and go, well, my queue time's long. Well, my queue time is short. So what? Like, who cares? Hey, come on. The survivor experience isn't great and has been relatively the same since the beginning. Yeah, that's why I find it boring. The tunneling, slugging, and camping is obviously a big factor, but also just the gameplay. That is where you lose me. Why is tunneling, slugging, and camping like this big thing? I don't get it. I've enjoyed getting tunneled in when I've played Survivor. I enjoy that. Slugging is just a part of the game. Like that just happens, dude. Like it's required in order to get pressure. There's no way to make slugging more interesting. Like it's literally just you're on the ground so you can't do a gen. Like that's the point. You could run around and look at the sky or something. Like if they change slugging into being all the gens get blocked for you for 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever have you, like old eruption before when it had the incapacitated status effect or whatever it's called. It's like you're still going to be like, oh well, I can't do the gens. It's like, yeah, like, but we want you to get off of the objective for a second. Like that's the point. And then camping is just so you can secure the hook state because you don't have the time, especially on low tiers. Low tier killers are the only real ones that use this, unless they're playing against like one blight that wants to win their game. Like whoop-de-doo, move on to your next. I've experienced that too, and I'm like, cool, I'll just go to my next match. Like, why am I sitting here worrying about one single game? Like the rest of the day is still ahead of you. Like, move on. I think everyone agrees that chase is the more interesting part of the game. I do agree with that. A lot of the match is the survivors on gen holding one button or hook waiting, not very engaging in the long run, especially when those things are prolonged because of, here we go. You had me and then you lose me because you want to add on that because of things like tunneling, slugging, and camping. Like, that's not the problem. The problem is the fact that literally Survivor is just gen holding or hook waiting. That's why. Like, that's what's the most boring part. That's the part that needs to be changed. That's the part that needs to be adjusted to be more interesting, and then also provide passive slowdown or killers so that they don't have to use as much strategy in order to win their game. You know, keep in mind that like the reason that people don't have to tunnel, slug, and camp with blight and nurse is because they're so powerful that they don't need to. So if you make more killers not need to do that, you wouldn't have to experience it as often, because a lot of people who are using these strategies simply just have to in order to keep up with other characters. Like that's what they need to do, because people, as much as survivors love to bitch and complain, killers don't want to lose their games either. Like that's how it works. Like it makes no sense. People want to win games. Like whoop-de-doo. With perks destroying gen progress, really? Which of course is often necessary perks, but obviously that means survivors need to spend even longer just doing a gen. Yeah, they should take longer to do gens. What? Like, the gens problem has been the biggest issue in the game for so many months now. Like, what are we talking about? So this one says, I don't know what could realistically rectify this, just inherent with how the gameplay has been set up. I enjoy the aspect of Texas Chainsaw that you could attempt to escape using different types of exits, but only works in 3v4, not a 1v4. That seems like a lot for one person to manage. Survivors just need anything that is engaging. Perhaps the game should be more centered around survivor and killer interaction rather than do gen and get out. That's exactly my perspective on it. Despite the BS that's mixed into the pot, if you will, the core, I agree with the core there, which is like create more interaction between survivor and killer. And that's what I've been trying to say for a while. I've always been saying, why don't we have additional objectives, like looking for like partition the gen, which I'm gonna put that at the end of this video where I talk about how to fix the gen perks, and I talk about exactly that, like partition the gens, like getting parts, stuff like that. And that's like something that could be better. Perks contribute to enjoyment of the game. It means they allow you to have more fun options of gameplay, but survivors are stuck with perks that help. Here we go. Survivors are not stuck with perks that help with tunneling, slugging, or camping, because if they were, they would actually use them and there wouldn't be as big of a problem. So this is directly untrue, because why is it that anytime you've ever seen any example of them saying, oh, they're tunneling me, They don't have any perks that actually counter it. They're always running like a gen rush build or something. That's not true. So they're not stuck with perks that help. No. They have a vast majority of perks that all synergize and do extremely unique things. Killers don't have that type of variety. Because if you're trying to use like good perks on a killer, you kind of have to play around their power. You kind of do. There's just perks that like forms a slowdown like pop or pain res that are probably not as good on Pyramid Head because you're not really going to be hooking that often. You're going to be caging usually, which means you're not getting those forms of slowdown. Chucky, for example, doesn't really get any use out of Surge, right? But people say Surge is so good, but Chucky doesn't get to use Surge. His only way he can down people effectively is with his dash, but he's so slow that he doesn't even get use out of pain res. What are we talking about? Come on now. As a Ghostface main, I only use Corrupt and Deadlock because pain res sucks. Like, it's not gonna help me. Grim sucks. Like, what are we talking about? Like, let's not say stuff that's not true, you know? Me when I lie, right? Me when I lie. Survivors are stuck with perks for this when they don't use them. They realistically want to escape their matches as much as possible. So maybe stop trying to focus on escaping so hard then, huh? You know? If you're trying to say, well, we're stuck with this, and it's like, come on, bro. Anyway, I'm being sarcastic. Same with Killer having to run gen perks to keep up with Survivors doing gen too fast. We're all just running perks we win rather than what's fun or interesting that we enjoy because the game has been set up. Just band-aids. Yeah, been saying that. Yeah, people love doing this too. Actually, the players are still the same. Actually, like, stop it, bro. And then look at this person saying, why are killers leaving? Talk about some anti-cheese efforts. So that already goes to show you that they have a defeatist mindset. Because the thing is like, if you genuinely believe that you can't counter tunneling, you can't counter these things, that directly just says that that's a defeatist mindset. And that you're probably like, you're mentally, you think you're a loser and you can't succeed when you can. Like, I think people need to get over that. Like, you can win games, you can get better at something, you can be good at DVD. Like, you just have to put the time in, you have to learn things. Those sources exist. Mr. Taterhead exists. Like, you can watch his channel, he covers every single map and how to loop it correctly. And the other aspect is you need to shift your perspective. If you're playing solo queue, you should be like, man, you know, I'm probably not gonna escape this, but I'm just gonna like just make my own fun out of it. I'm gonna make my own objective. I want to complete one gen today, or I want to do my quest, or I'm gonna try to help this person out, or I'm just gonna try to get into chase and see what I can do. Like, there's different aspects of solo queue you can try to do, because even when I played it, which I've experienced solo queue and also like a duo queue, and even duo queue is like hard, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and like worry about escaping or not, because most of the time I just did challenges. I'm like, I just didn't really care. There's a lot of tome challenges that I had to do to get blood points. I was like, why not? Like, it's like, oh, just sabo this tool, like this hook or something. I'm like, I can do that. The medikits have been nerfed. Yeah, rightfully so. Why weren't they nerfed sooner? 4-minute gens? They should be 4-minute gens. I don't know why they're like they really should. Like, what the hell? They love saying this. Oh, but the players are the same. Like, stop, bro. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Because there's still a vast majority of Survivor players as a whole, bro. Like, I would imagine. Like, just copy pasting the same screenshot is not gonna save anything. So my most honest answer, behavior were to dangle in front of me any shiny new content that's on my wish list, I'll come back to playing Survivor once again. If we get Robin from the upcoming Stranger Things 2 chapter, I wouldn't really care too much about the state of solo queue games, at least for a while, until the usual frustrations begin to bite again. Here it is. Here it is. If they were to revert the fog vial nerfs, think about it, right? Think about it. Like I've said this before, why do fog vials or any other item being added into the game need to be broken for it to be used? That already says something about the game balancing. Why do you need unnerfed fog vial to even have a fighting chance to play? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, come on now. give her a slither of a crumb of an atom of the anti-tunnel and slugging systems they developed. Like, come on now. If you don't enjoy the Survivor experience, don't play the game. It's fine. There are other video games out there that you can enjoy and have fun. You don't have to play this goddamn game. Because if you don't, if you're literally so against being chased, because that's what Fogvile was the anti-chase button. If you don't like being chased all the time, and you're all you're doing is complaining about just sitting on the gens all day, I guess, maybe the game's not for you. Like, maybe play something else. Like, damn. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know why that's such a foreign concept. Either get better at looping, and you won't be tunneled at all, because if they chase you, they're like, well, I can't really get the down fast. Like, it's crazy to me that they want to load up a game and just turn their brains off and look at the sky. Like, what are you expecting to get out of the game? Play something else. I don't get it, man. I'm really crashing out today, but I think it's also really just making me laugh too. So we're all led to believe killers would quit the game in mass if some kind of functional anti-tunnel, anti-slugging system were added to prevent trials from becoming a boring mop-up operation at their early tunnel out. This isn't going to be happening anytime soon. Like I said, it's a defeatist mindset. Like, they just actively refuse to try to get better at the game. Like Ghoul Nerds being brought down to Wesker's level, but I don't play as often because I'm just tired of them. Can't comment on Crossu. Lich's buffs reverted. But look, like I've said before, I'm just tired of queuing against the same boring killers. Why do you think that people keep playing the same killers? Why do you think that? It's like these people forget, bro. Like, these people like just like can't fathom the idea, you know? Ooh, this person right here says, where are you seeing any evidence of so many survivors leaving the game? Other than a few complaints on a forum, every night I've played recently, 5-minute queues or killer queues have been instant. Sure doesn't seem like survivor players are leaving when I can see with queue times. Very true. Bro said just ask AI. Oh my god. Bro said just ask AI. Bro didn't even have a source. He just goes, I don't know. I'm not playing and my friends aren't. Like, what? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So it says, when are you seeing long killer times? What region are you in? I'm in the US, and every night I've played recently, my killer queue times have been instant, while my survivor queues have been around 5 minutes. I don't get to play during the daytime very often, but I'm sure killer queues are longer during the day. That's something new though. It's been that way for years because there are fewer survivors playing with friends during the day. I would love to see anyone upvoting this show of evidence of abnormally long queue killer times outside of the daytime, when historically killer queues have always been long. There are just no evidence of the preferred narrative as survivor only players that are only leaving the game in droves because they don't like playing survivor. So yeah, I mean, like, that's like kind of my point. Like, everything is just pure anecdotes and they just keep saying that. This person at least goes, I've been on a break, but like, if they were to like fix the bugs for survivors and killers, which I don't know what survivor bugs he thinks like they're in the game, but I get it. Most people I know have dropped killer more than survivor. I've been seeing that a lot. Just ask AI. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Yo, for real. I was like, yeah, you just lost everybody right after that. Like, that's crazy. Yo. Bro, I'll be crying. Here we go. Here's somebody else crying. There goes somebody else crying. Here we go. The killer's hitting me over the pallet. It's like, it's a server issue, so like my god. Oh my god, that was so funny. This person agrees with the other person who was talking about the basically behavior and their significant damage and trust. So it says this, honestly, I no longer trust behavior in its current form as a company, and I no longer want to support them in any way unless there's a major shakeup in company leadership at the top for better, or this game is acquired by another company with a better track record of managing and properly balancing multiplayer games. I'm done, period. I won't be buying anything associated with behavior in any way in the future, including anything they publish. They could announce my most unlikely licensed dream collab for DBD tomorrow, and I wouldn't come back because it's behavior. They find a way to mess it up, and the rest of the game will still be broken and unbalanced, miserable mess that it is. I haven't played since the immediate Fog Vial nerf fiasco. Uninstalled after that and never reinstalled. Nothing I've seen, including small Skull Merchant buffs, too little, too late, and seeing the other half of the game I also played. Solo queue somehow being in a worse state than I left it in doesn't inspire any confidence in me. I guess. I mean, they like every buff has just been to Survivor, and then it only directly just buffs Swift, which doesn't affect solo queue, so. Not to mention recycling of events I don't care about. Lights Out was the only non-holiday modifier I liked and diminished. Art Rift event FOMO rewards, treating BP and Eerie shards that they're actually rare and precious IRL currency. They had cute earnable cosmetics with their Halloween event. I'll give them that, but why would I come back to grind for cute cosmetics in the game when I have no intention of ever playing again at this point in time? I mean, that's debatable too, because some of those cosmetics are trash. I know this being critical and blunt maybe get me temp banned and get my posts deleted, but I frankly don't care. And this is another problem that I have with behavior. They can't take harsh but overall respectful criticism from the majority of the casual player base. They'd rather listen to the loud minority of killer main streamers and killer main streamers. I think they misspelled Survivor main streamers. I don't. It's like, no, they don't listen to any killer main streamers. What are you talking about? We treat the game like it's comp, and out if they can't have their way in 9 out of 10 match. You mean, what are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? Like, they have it right for a while, and then they just flip it around and say it's killer. Like, huh? What do you mean the loud minority of killer mainstream? I swear to God, you will be hard pressed to find killer mainstreamers, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Anytime I've ever tried to peruse Twitch to find more killer streamers, I never find them. I'm gonna be honest. Like, at least for me, I've tried looking. Every single stream was Survivor. I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. But because it's more casual, it's easy to stream a side that doesn't require that much brain power, and you can interact with chat easily because you're just like on a gen all day. What else are you gonna look besides the fucking chat? Like, are we? It's like they feign ignorance like crazy here. The game would be much healthier without the comp crowd if behavior has no interest in creating a separated, ranked, visible MMR season queue to funnel them all into. That is not a, like, people love saying that, but that's, as I've covered previously, it's not going to help anything. That's not going to help anything, because the people that are interested in still winning most likely will just go back to casual and get wins off of those people, because they're not concerned with a ranked mode or not. A lot of people just want to win their games any way they want. Like, they're not gonna care. They said behavior has very obviously chosen their side over and over and over again. Talk about some their side. I don't know where that is. There's no evidence of that. I'm tired and disappointed, but again, I don't care. It says if I can't have a fun, there it is, we're crying. No tunneling, slugging, WS, no hatch leech, clueless, griefing teammate, solo queue. Like, then don't play. Like, who cares, bro? It's like, I swear to God. Oh, here we go again. It's about all these mains leave because of one, but your side leaves. Are you the side which is crying louder? Like, bro, it's just, come on, bro. They never want to, like, actually acknowledge the points. So, killer queue isn't long, 100% it's not fun for either side. Opinion caters much more to survivors. I'd rather have the return of 2 shack windows as opposed with the incredible amount of second chance and gen rushing perks. No, that's kind of crazy. Arms race made this game way too fast-paced, like a game for speedrunners. Efficiency at all costs. Got hit by the second pallet this game. Better start a new round. Got found in an unlucky spot. Better start a new round. There's no room for much skill show-off. Make one great play. It's most likely the other side gets stomped. Very true. I think there's a very big lack of skill expression in a lot of ways because of the fact that they keep removing things that do have skill expression. There's a lot of things that just really make killer, like, which I personally think that killer is one of the most skill expressive sides to play, because there's like every character has a unique ability to learn. So like from that alone, you can have so many different ways to play characters, and it's like the skill expression is just like non-existent when you remove a lot of ways to be able to do that. And the reason is obviously, you know, the games are just running so quick, especially with these gens being as fast as they are. It's like you're not really had the time to practice, nor do you have the time to express any of your unique like ways of like using your ability and stuff like that in a lot of situations. I would say, in my opinion. Neither survivors nor killers seem to be leaving the game, so you can stop the fallacy until you got proof. Game's in a good state for both survivor and killer, even though there's so many complaints, usually about the tunneling, camping, slugging, boogeyman. A few changes here and there are the most pressing, and it's pretty fine. That's my opinion. I don't disagree with it. For me, this game has only been getting better and better over time. I disagree with it fundamentally that it's getting better over time. I think it's just like it's been getting worse for months. So I've been playing since late 2017. This year has been my least amount of hours put into DBD. I know for a fact that they were able to bring in the it chapter. Then I'll be running the login. Yeah, the it chapter would go crazy too, honestly. Oh, there's nothing on this other page. But yeah, we pretty much covered the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section about the forum, if you agreed or disagree. I feel like I was ranting for a while, but it's all in good fun, honestly. I really just find it quite amusing that there's like genuinely survivor players that want to leave the game or whatever. At least from my perspective, I just think the vast majority of killers are going to leave the game if they haven't already. I mean, I've even noticed it amongst the like around the 2v8. I think there was like a good majority of us that used to like be like flying in for 2v8, and I think it was like drastic difference. I think a vast majority of us like just were not really playing much killer around this 2v8. So, you know, and that's all purely anecdotal, obviously. But just going off of that, obviously, I think there's just a lot of us that are just like, nah, like we're good. We're good from DVD, I'd say. I think we're good. But that's my perspective on it, really. And I mean, there's probably survivors leaving too for whatever reason. I personally don't understand it. I mean, you've got every buff you ever wanted, like, you know, like especially around the pallet density update. I was like, they got everything they ever wanted. Like healing is faster, gens are fast. Like you don't ever go down anymore because of the pallet density update back then. And I was like, what are they leaving for? Like you got everything, you know. Maybe now they're like, oh well, you know, I'm not really having as much fun because the pallets aren't like a pallet every 2 steps or something like they used to be. But you can't really please the DVD community. So appreciate you guys watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and consider supporting the channel by becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube to have access to like perks, emotes, exclusive content, things like that, and to support me directly. I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, I wanted to go ahead and take some time out to thank all my members from Patreon with Crow King 101, my YouTube members, Majora Jeff, Endire, Evil Peachy YT, Zero Mocker, Christian, HexDev, and Crow Vader, and for my Twitch subscribers, Cake is the Road, Danica 2002, Final Girl _ Bunny, Acklefin, Chili Cinderace, Zero Mocker, Ginsburg, Johns 117 _ Lovely Ghost TTV, Jar TTV, Zazaboo, and Crow Vader. Just wanted to thank you guys. And if you also want to have your name read off at the end of every video, make sure you join on one of these platforms to get one of those perks as well as the other perks you get. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.